video, I know it seems mostly relevant to high school students, but I also feel that it's deeply relevant to younger students, because the question is, are you preparing students who would have the capability to take on something like the independent project in high school? And moreover, what are students capable of doing right now? The professor at Williams College said that it was ridiculous to think that kids 14 through 18 were capable of it. I would say that many younger students can take on projects that have a certain amount of independence, things like getting together in groups to change something, the things that we saw Kiran Veersathi speaking about the students at Riverside School doing, students really gathering around common interest points and starting petitions about the issues that they care about. These are things that many young people can do regardless of how old they are, and I would emphasize again, so this was done by an elementary school group, the work at Riverside was done by an elementary school group, a lot of the fundraisers at Piggyback are done by elementary school groups, so I have learned a whole lot from the elementary school students that I've spoken with, but I'm never underestimating them. Because I think that even as high schoolers, we tend to think, oh, we've grown up so much from those days. And while we have, in many ways, young people who are younger than us are actually even better sometimes at exploring, at playing, at being fearless. I think that as high schoolers, we're very worried about how other people see us, about doing the things that our friends are doing, about making sure that we are, to some extent, going along with the status quo. A lot of kids, especially in younger grades in elementary school, are not nearly as concerned with those facets of growing up, and so they can be at an amazing advantage when it comes to starting things that are very innovative and different. So, oh, and let's see, room 224. I'm seeing, this is this someone in this room? Or must be a different room, but that's awesome. It looks like a teacher has a Twitter account. And so this is a really fun way of communicating with students, with parents. A lot of teachers are starting to do this, and I really like it because it makes any communication very easily accessible. So you saw the Independent Project, you saw Kiran Veersathi's TED Talk. If there's one TED Talk that I would also really suggest, unfortunately I don't have the time to show it, but Sugata Mitra's speech, he won the TED Prize in Education. And he won it because he spoke about how young kids, we're talking younger than 13 here, would actually walk up to a computer. He called it the hole-in-the-wall experiment in this part of Hyderabad, India, where he put a computer in the wall. Kids who had never once seen a computer before even would walk up to it, figure it out within minutes, and if he asked them, look up molecular biology, they would follow his lead, they'd look it up, he'd come back in 2 months, and he famously asked them, so, did you learn anything? And one little girl said, we learned nothing, except how DNA replicates. And I was just like, wow, that's more than I learned in a fair amount of biology. But